Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's yoga video is meant to kind of work as a reset, whether you're in the middle of your day and need to kind of reset your brain or you just need a break from whatever you may have going on, then hopefully this will be helpful for that. And we're just going to go ahead and start on our mat and we'll begin in child's pose. So you can go ahead and sit your hips down to your heels, and you might find it more comfortable to have your knees spread a little bit further apart, or you can bring them together, but wherever you are, you can sink the hips. And this time we'll take child's pose with palms up so that we're very open. You can just take a couple breaths here. And feel yourself soften into the pose, and if you need to readjust and you feel more comfortable with your knees together, you can do that as well. We'll take a couple more breaths here. If you want to set an intention for your practice today or for your day in general, then now would be the time to do that. And go ahead and come up to all fours, tuck the toes, send the hips up to the sky, and we'll come into downward facing dog. Feel free to stretch the back of the legs by pedaling out the knees. Spread the fingertips wide. Pull your heels to the ground. Bring your arms alongside your ears and push your chest towards your legs. And we'll take one more inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and look your gaze towards your hands, and you can walk your hands towards your feet this time. So now we're in a forward fold. Take another moment to bend between the legs. Inhale and extend your chest forward, taking a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, we'll stand at the top of our mat. On your exhale, you can bring your hands to your chest. And we'll go ahead and start a vinyasa. So inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale and fold. Walk the hands to the top of the mat to come into plank. We'll move into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, pull the hips back into downward dog. So again, find a comfortable place in this pose. While it is a stretching position, it is also a place that you should be able to rest comfortably. And now we'll go ahead and step the right foot up to the top of our mat. And we're going to come into warrior one, so bring the left heel down to the ground. Inhale and rise. Make sure to align your pelvis, so you're going to slightly bring the right hip in so that you're nice and level in your hips. Take an inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back, come into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left foot. Step it forward to the top of your mat. Lower the right heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior one. Level the hips. Reach the fingertips up to the sky, but relax the shoulders. And exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground, step back into downward facing dog. So we're picking up the pace just a little bit. I wanted to incorporate a couple fast-paced things, some stretching, some strengthening. So we'll get a little bit of everything today. Inhale, come to the top of your toes, and walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take a moment to breathe in your forward fold. We're still getting warmed up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way at the top of your mat. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Take a moment again to just take a couple breaths. Focus your mind. And bring your arms up to the sky again. Take an inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold again. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips back, downward dog. Again, lift the right leg and step it forward to the top of your mat. You can go ahead and leave the back left heel lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge. Now we're going to try a little balance challenge. From here, we're going to step the left foot forward and you're going to lift the knee. So go ahead and keep your right foot planted. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, bring the left knee up. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest. And again, we're working on focusing the mind, staying with your practice. If you'd like, you can hug that left knee into your chest. Hold the position for one more breath. And go ahead and step that left foot back to the back edge of your mat, coming into crescent lunge. And from here, we'll open up into warrior two, so spin the back left heel to the ground. Take an inhale. Flip the right palm to the sky, and we'll reverse our warrior. And we'll come back forward and we'll take side angle pose. So bring the right fingertips to the inside of the right foot and reach your left arm up and overhead. So we're taking a nice hip stretch right here. You want to roll the chest open as much as you can here. Inhale, we'll rise back to warrior two. This time spin the right toes in, turn the left toes out. And we'll come into triangle on the left side. So reach those left fingertips forward, bring them to the outside of the left foot, and reach the right arm up. Don't forget to really hug that left hip in so it's not collapsing out. Turn your gaze to the sky. Take another breath in. Go ahead and lower the right hand to the ground. Square your hips and go ahead and lift the back right heel off the mat and lower the right knee. So we're coming into a little bit of a low lunge here. Stretching into the left hip. And from here, go ahead and spin the right leg 90 degrees towards the left. Leave your left hand planted and Take the right arm up and overhead as you sink the hips down. So another nice hip stretch. And go ahead and sweep the right hand to the back edge of your mat, straighten through the left leg, and stretch the left arm overhead. So we're taking a full body stretch. Inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and square your hips back to the front of your mat. From here, you can take the left foot, step it to the front of the mat. You might need to scoot the right knee back a little bit further to come into a lunge again. And from here, bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, and we're going to stretch into the hips. So you can scoot the left foot out, make sure both hands are on the inside, and start to lower down into this pose. You can plant the hands if you feel comfortable doing that. If you're still working on your hip flexibility and you want to sit up taller, you can be here as well. And from here, we're going to go ahead and lift the back right knee and sink the hips down. So it's a big hip stretch, but it should feel pretty good. We're working on flexibility here. Take one more breath in. And go ahead and plant the hands. Sweep the left foot up and back behind you. And bring it back down to meet your right. Take a couple breaths in your downward dog. And again, lift the heels, lift your gaze towards your hands, and we'll walk to the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come to stand. And exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Again, we'll take a moment to take a couple breaths. If you feel your mind wandering, we're trying to bring the attention inward so you can work on that. And again, inhale, lift the arms, exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come to plank position. Lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, send the hips back to downward dog. Take one more breath here. And we'll lift the left foot this time. Step it through to the front of your mat. You can keep the back right heel lifted. And inhale to crescent lunge. So again, level the pelvis. You might want to imagine bringing that left hip in just a little bit so you're nice and straight. And again, we're going to go into that balance position. So go ahead and prepare yourself to lift the right foot. Step up, lift the right knee, and bring your hands to your chest and hold this position for a moment. And if you want to, you can go ahead and hug that right knee in, getting a deeper stretch. Go ahead and release that right knee. Step back into crescent lunge again. And from here, we'll come into warrior two. Go ahead and spin the back right heel to the ground. Open your hips. Take an inhale. On your exhale, flip the left palm to the sky. Reverse your warrior. Reach back with those fingertips. Inhale, come back to center. And on the exhale, reach the left fingertips to the ground on the inside of the left foot and reach the right arm overhead. We're in side angle pose now. Try to roll the chest open. Inhale and rise. This time turn the left toes in, the right toes out, and we're coming into triangle pose on the other side. So reach the right fingertips towards your right foot, bring your right fingertips to the ground, and lift the left arm. We'll hold this pose just for a moment. Make sure to hug that right hip in so it's not falling out. If you need to bring the hand to your ankle or your shin, of course you can do that too. Inhale. And go ahead and release the left hand to the ground. Square your hips to the back of your mat and lower the left knee. We're going to come into our little hip stretch. So go ahead and spin that left back leg 90 degrees towards the right. Leave your left hand your right hand planted on the outside of the right foot and reach up and over with the left hand. Sink your hips down. Should be a nice stretch on both legs. And then sweep the left hand to the back edge of your mat, or the front edge of your mat, and then reach the right arm up and overhead. You can straighten through the right leg. Take a full body stretch. And go ahead and lower the right hand to the ground. Square your hips to the front side of your mat, and go ahead and step the right foot forward. You can move the back knee a little bit further behind you if you need to. Go ahead and sink down into the right hip as you bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. You can scoot the right foot out if you need to a bit. And you can start to bend the elbows to deepen the stretch a little bit here. Just taking a moment to give the hips a little bit of attention because it's oftentimes where most of us hold a lot of our tension and tightness. And we're gonna deepen this a little bit further by lifting the back left knee and go ahead and sink those hips down as much as you can. Take another breath here. And go ahead and plant the hands and step the right foot back. You can lift it to the sky and then lower it back down to meet your left foot. So we're back in our downward facing dog. Take a moment to stretch here. Find a comfortable place in this pose. Stretch the heels down to the ground and lengthen your chest towards your legs. And from here, we'll go ahead and lower the knees back down to the mat. You can untuck your toes and send your hips back to child's pose again. Go ahead and turn your palms face up and lower your forehead down to the mat. And take one more inhale here. And big breath out. And we'll come to our hands and our knees one more time. We're going to take a little stretch right here. So go ahead and lift the left foot. You can go ahead and lift the right arm and go ahead and try to catch that foot with your right hand. So you can kick your foot into your hand. You can turn your gaze over your right shoulder to get a little chest opener. Stretch into the quad. And go ahead and release it. And we'll do the other side. So bend the right knee, lift the foot, take the left hand, and go ahead and grab hold of that foot. Kick your foot into your hand and stretch your chest open. And we'll go ahead and release that. And we'll lower all the way down onto your tummy. We'll go ahead and take Sphinx pose to open up the chest. So you'll bring your arms parallel to each other, palms down. You're going to press your pelvis into the mat, press the top of your feet into the mat, and you're going to lengthen through your chest and open the whole upper body. So you can press your hands down if you want to imagine dragging your chest forward. That's what we're trying to do here. Go sit up nice and tall. And you can exhale and bring your forehead to your forearms. Take one breath in and out. And go ahead and bring the right knee up so that it's kind of comes parallel to your hips. We're just gonna take a moment here to try to stretch open the hips a little bit. You can come up onto your forearms, or you can lay with your forehead on your arms like we just were. Either position is fine. So you're working on trying to get your pelvis and your hips really flat on the ground. And from here we can turn this into a spinal stretch. So go ahead and reach the left arm underneath the right, and you can start to open your chest. Bring the left hand to the right knee, and reach the right arm up and back behind you. So if you can try to turn your gaze over towards the right to get a full twist from the back of your skull down to your lower back and your hip. And you can come back to lay on your chest, and we'll do the other side. So you can lift the left knee, try to bring it in line with your hips, try to get it really flat to the ground, and you can lower down here. And from here we can turn it into our little twist. So go ahead and reach the right arm towards the left. Bring the right shoulder down. You can bring the right hand on top of the left knee and reach the left arm up and back behind you. Take one more breath here in our twist. And this time you can roll over onto your back. Go ahead and hug both knees back into your chest. giving them a tight little squeeze. If you want to, you can lift your shoulders away from the ground and turn yourself into a little ball. Hug everything in. And go ahead and release. You can send your left leg beneath you as you hug your right knee into your chest. We're just going to stretch into the backs of the legs one more time, so go ahead and lift the right leg to the sky. Wherever you want to grab onto it is fine. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, you can pull the leg slightly further in. You can also reach the leg to the right, to the left, whatever feels good for your body and where you are with your flexibility. So you can pull the foot in a couple more times. You can lift the head and try to touch the leg to the forehead. And then bend the right knee back into your chest, give it one more squeeze, send it below you, and we'll hug the left knee into the chest. Go ahead and send it up to the sky, straighten through your left leg. You can flex the foot to get a nice deep stretch along the backside. You can bring it to the left, bring it to the right. Inhale. And on the exhale, you can pull it in a little bit further. You can lift the shoulders and the neck and pull the leg in. And squeeze the left knee back into your chest. And go ahead and release it beneath you. So we'll come into Shavasana. You can turn your palms up. Close your eyes. And when you're ready to come out of it, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers and take a full body stretch, lifting the arms overhead and stretching the toes beneath you. And you can turn onto your side into a fetal position. Take another moment to breathe and relax. And then we can go ahead and sit all the way up onto your mat. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully you did feel like you kind of set a reset button in the middle of your day after this workout if that's what you needed. And I will see you guys all next Tuesday. Thanks again.